M-Drive, supplement I use every morning, mdriveformen.com, code HERD, 20% off. Good stuff. Best for last today. We thought there's so many teams, 7 weeks left in the NFL season. Don't know the complete playoff picture yet. 17 teams, 17, over half the league are above 500. Only 12 make the playoffs. So we thought there's all these things, these teams sort of hanging in the balance. Do we think they're playoff teams or they're takeoff teams? They're done. So, John, here we go.
And now, Colin will decide if a team is headed for the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Or taking off for vacation.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please strap yourself in securely.
It's playoff or takeoff.
All right, Colin, let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles, playoff or takeoff.
I like a lot about them.
You do.
GM, coach, quarterback, take off.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please strap yourself in securely.
Deshaun Jackson's gone. I don't get the deep threat. I think they're a very good running team who throws well on play action. But when I look at them, they've been inconsistent. They've never beaten Zeke. They can't seem to stop Zeke. The remaining games, I got the Patriots, I got Seattle, I got Dallas. By the way, at Miami is no gimme the way they're playing. I think Deshaun Jackson leaves. They lose their deep threat. They'll be on the outside looking in.
I agree. The Minnesota Vikings, playoff or takeoff?
Playoff.
Playoffs?
Yeah, this is a playoff team. Listen, they have an identity. They play really good defense. They're kind of conservative on offense. I think there's a ceiling because of that, and they run the heck out of the football. They got some real winnable games. Chargers, Detroit, got a bye. Denver, Chicago. It's a playoff team.
All right, the Carolina Panthers.
I liked them for a long time. After this weekend, they are a takeoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please strap yourself in securely.
Okay, Kyle Allen, nobody had film on him, right? It was pretty good. Didn't have a pick first 5 games. Now he's got 5 in the last 3. They're last in the NFL in red zone offense. Again, he's a nice transition piece. But as people get more and more video and film on Dak, he gets better. They get more on Kyle. He hit a wall. By the way, 26 third down offense. They just don't pick up enough first downs for me. We saw it last weekend against Green Bay. Not enough first downs.
The Los Angeles Rams, playoff or takeoff?
Takeoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please strap yourself in securely.
They have a crisis. It's called center guard. Their offensive line isn't good. It's mangled. They're walking on eggshells regarding Todd Gurley. I do think their defense is good. Jalen Ramsey's a nice pickup. And I do think they'll be in games. The Pittsburgh game is what they're going to look like against Chicago. They're going to be in every game because they play real defense with Wade Phillips. But Goff now has got 14 turnovers, third most in the NFL. They have 16 turnovers, most by a winning team. They're just not very good and very efficient offensively.
The Dallas Cowboys, playoff or takeoff?
Playoff.
Playoffs?
There's a ceiling. I don't know what their offensive identity is, but you can't get past these numbers. Number 1 in total offense, number 1 in third down offense, and only 11 sacks allowed. This team is Dak and this offensive line, and they remind me, to be honest, there's a little bit of a Steeler look to them, although I think they're significantly better at quarterback. When you have the best offensive line in football and multiple pieces around the O-line, that's a playoff team. Now, ceiling, because I don't like their offensive identity, but it's a playoff team.
Steelers and Cowboys fans would fight you on that one.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills, playoff or takeoff?
I think they're takeoff. I think they're going to wilt down the stretch.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please strap yourself in securely.
They haven't beaten a team with a winning record. Again, they're just not very good offensively. The more we see on Josh Allen, the less I like him. The more I see on like Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, the more I like him. I think it's a really well-coached team with an incredibly low offensive ceiling.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think they're a playoff team.
Playoffs?
Mike Tomlin never had a losing season. By the way, Mike Tomlin has had to coach a lot of games without Big Ben. Do you know what he is without Big Ben? 15-10. Okay? If you look at their remaining schedule, winnable games, this is an offensive line story. Only 11 sacks allowed. That's with Mason Rudolph, who's not a runner. They run the football well with second and third tier running backs. This offensive line and that front seven defensively in a weaker AFC, they're going to end up winning tomorrow night and make it to the playoffs.
It looked like it was going to be a disaster, and they really turned that around. The Colts, playoff or takeoff?
A team I liked early. take off.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please strap yourself in securely.
I know when Andrew Luck retired, it was fashionable to say, look at Jacoby Brissett. Yes, look at him. He is hurt, and he's not Andrew Luck. Let's stop. Andrew Luck is a generational talent. Jacoby Brissett's a franchise quarterback. But they're just not special offensively anymore. They feel very T.Y. Hilton dependent on the perimeter. They're a very young team. They're a well-coached team. But you don't trust Adam Vinatieri. Jacoby Brissett's coming back hurt. I see a lot of losable games down the stretch at Houston, at New Orleans, Carolina, at Jacksonville are tough games. Like so much about them, but not that.
The Oakland Raiders.
Playoffs. I think the Steelers and the Raiders make the playoffs. Again, I'm going to give you some numbers here that tells you Gruden's helped the offensive line. So they're fourth and third down offense. They pick up first downs, offensive line. Only 8 turnovers. Quarterback, what did Bruce Gradkowski say? Derek Carr, clean pocket.
Yep.
Only 12 sacks allowed, third fewest. This is an offensive line story. It's not a Gruden story. Josh Jacobs, very good. This has become a very above-average offensive line. Derek Carr throws in a very clean pocket. They can run the football. They pick up first downs. I mean, the other night on Thursday when Phillip Rivers played Derek Carr, Phillip Rivers looked a little lost. Why? Under duress. Derek Carr looked great in that game. So I think the Raiders and the Steelers, by the way, that is good for football.
Yeah.
If I get the
Two huge
Steelers,
brands.
humongous NFL brands make the playoffs. So there you go. We didn't do it like the Patriots, right? We didn't.
Well, I mean, teams that you have to question whether at this point they're going to make the playoffs or not.
17 teams, Joy, are above 500. 17. So
Can't be mad at that.
This week we've got a couple of interesting games. I think it's Baltimore, Houston, and Philadelphia hosting New England are the 2 games I really, really want to watch. So
And tomorrow night, obviously.
Yeah, tomorrow we have a great show. We have our NFL Meat Sandwich Thursday. We have Greg Cosell stops by. We have Peter King on the show tomorrow. So Thursdays are great as we get ready for the Browns hosting 3-point favorite over the Pittsburgh Steelers. That feels, Baker Mayfield against that front 7 feels like a couple of picks. It just feels like
I think the Steelers win that game.
problems on the horizon. It's The Herd. We'll see you tomorrow.